Alright, hi. Continuing the Distribution Integrity Management Program Plan Enforcement Guidance. The Gas Distribution Pipeline Integrity Management Program Enforcement Guidelines, Title 49 CFR, Part 192, Subpart B. Enforcement Guideline, Distribution Integrity Management, Part 192, December 21st, 2012, 192.107E. When required elements of the Integrity Management Program and written Integrity Management Program must contain the procedures developing and implementing the following elements. Existing code language. Measure performance monitoring and result of the monitoring performance monitor results. Evaluate effectiveness, developing monitoring performance measures the established baseline to evaluate the effectiveness, integrity management, and the program and operator must consider the results of the performance monitoring and the periodic evaluating the threats and risks list of performance measures, but not included in the following. The number of hazards of leaks either eliminated or repaired as required in Statute 192.703 of the C of this chapter. The total number of leaks, all leaks are repaired when found, categorizing cause. 2, the number of excavation damages. 3, the number of excavation tickets or receipts and information by underground facility operators notification center. 4, the total number of leaks eliminated, repaired, and categorized in cause. The number of the hazardous leaks eliminated, repaired as required by Statute 192.703C. Or the total number of leaks if all leaks are repaired when found, categorized in the materials and additional measures the operating determines is needed to evaluate the effectiveness operator's integrity management program in controlling each of the identified threat. The origin of the code, 192.113.74, Federal Registration, Federal Registry 63906, December 4th, 2009, last amended 192.176, 76.54.94, February 1st, 2011. Interpretation summaries not foreseen. Advisory bulletin alerts not foreseen. Other reference materials addressing the Distribution Integrity Management Program Final Ruling Preamble, the Federal Registry, Volume 74, Number 232, Friday, December 4th, 2009. Rules and Regulation Comment Topics 23 Performance Measures 62392.1. Distribution Integrity Management Frequently Asked Management Program Questions. C4E1, while the PSMA, Pipeline Hazardous Material Safety Administration, selected performance measures that it has all periodic reporting. C4E3, 2, does every measure to address the risk of the performance measure. Guideline. All right, the Gas Pipeline Technology Committee, the GPTC Guide Material Appendix G, 192.8, Section 7, measure of performance and monitoring results, evaluate effectiveness. Guidance information. The operator must have a written distribution integrity management plan that contains the developing and implementing each of the requirements. Statute 192.107E. The procedure must adequately clearly describe the manner in which each of the program requirement will be met. The procedure will need to provide with a description of who, what, when, where, and how the operator will implement the elements. The operator must follow the procedure of the Distribution Integrity Management Program. And individual procedure documents should include the management approval's origin and the effective date of the last revision. For additional information, see the guidance section 192.1005. An operator must have provision for measuring an integrity management program. The effectiveness of the operator of the management program. The documentation must identify that the measurements are to be reviewed and frequency at which they were reviewed. The operator must develop. 3, the operator must develop the monitoring the performance from the established baseline to evaluate the effectiveness of the integrated management program. The program documentation must include the process of the operating and establishing baseline and measurement of each of the performance must measure from which the evaluation change. Program documentation must specify the measurements are to be taken and identify with the specific document dates that the measures should be covered. The threat-specific measure will only apply to the operator who determined the measure to reduce the risk needed if the new performance measure, and the operator may only have the one data point that will collect more data in the future, which will to evaluate the change. The operator may not have historical data to establish the baseline for all performance measures. In those cases, the operator must have a plan for collecting the data going forward to establish the baseline. The purpose of the excavation damage is a performance measure for the reporting of the number of the excavation tickets to normalize the excavation damage information in the order, for example, to help with determining whether the reduced evacuation damages are a result of the improved damage prevention programs or less construction excavation activity. The measure by itself is not informative for the effectiveness of the operative distribution integrity management program. An operator may need not to establish a baseline for the element normalization is necessary because of changes in the amount of the construction activity will account in the number of the excavation damages but are outside the control of the operator's integrated measurement program. Analysts will be likely to normalize per 1,000 tickets, but the simple arithmetic adjustment is the basic data is available. 6. Each implemented risk reduction measurement of the group measurement to reduce the risk must have a performance measure associated with the design monitoring for its effectiveness. Monitoring the effectiveness of the measure is to reduce the risk allowed to the operator must be substantial determinations as adequacy implemented measures to reduce the risk, whether the measures to reduce the risk shall be continued, revised, or canceled. Alright, 7. Performance measures should be reflected to the purpose of the distribution management program. Specific rules, control, practice, measurement of performance should be something that can be counted, graphed, and validated. The operator need not to be adopted all possible performance measures. It would be applicable for the operator to select a critical few measurements. These often decreasing returns of the measurement are added to many of the measurements can overwhelm the measurement of the system. Operators should establish a trigger point for the threshold to prompt to review the effectiveness of their risk reduction measurements. The operator may determine through the reviews of the risk reduction measurement be changed or that additional measurements are needed and are changed. Examples of probable violations. The operator does not have procedure that covers the task required. The operator fails to follow the written procedures. The operator does not have the threat of specific performance metrics that were needed. The process of the operator to describe the procedure is not sufficiently documented so that the inspector can make a reasonable determination as to the accuracy, thoroughness of the process. Procedures do not contain sufficiently detailed clarity to allow any one of the using the understanding the following them. 6. The operator lack as a plan to establish the baseline performance measures where the historical data of the baseline does not exist. The operator does not include the explanation of how effectiveness of the measure to reduce the risk will be measured. 8. The performance measure selected will not measure the effectiveness of the measure of implemented with the reduced risk. 9. The performance measure indicated with the reduced risk reduction measures is not effective, but the operator has not taken action to revise or replace the measures. The operator did not collect performance measure data. Operator did not analyze the performance measure data to the monitoring progress of the risk reduction system or measure. 12. The operator did not evaluate the data to determine the measure of the reduced risk was effective. Performance measure used by the operator did not include the number of the evacuation devices, number of leaks, and number of hazardous leaks. Example of evidence: copy the applicable pages of the operator distribution integrity management program that demonstrates the inadequate process. Copy the operator record of the performance measure and or associated with the documented demonstrated with the risk reduction measurement is not effective. Copies of the operator reports, performance measures, and or other associated documentation which demonstrates the risk reduction measure is not effective. Corrective actions have not been taken and documented and demonstrated. Meaning the operator did not collect and evaluate the performance measure data. 5. The documented photographic evidence demonstrating the violation. 6. The oral and written statements for the operator personnel and other special notifications not so far advised. Alright, Distribution Integrity Management 192, December 21st, 2012, 192-107F. What are the required elements of the integrity management program? When a written integrity management existing code language, a written integrity management plan must contain the procedures developing and implementing the following elements. F. The periodic evaluation and operator reevaluates the threats, risk, the entire pipeline, considering the relevance of threats in one location to another areas. Each operator must determine the appropriate period of the conduction complete with the program evaluations based on complexity in the system, changing the factors affecting the risk of failure. The operator must conduct a complete program reevaluation at least every 5 years. The operator must consider the result of the performance monitoring these evaluations. Title: Origin Code 192-113, 74 FR 63906, December 4th, 2009. Last amended 192-176. 192-116. 76 FR 5494, February 1st, 2011. Interpretation summaries not so far available. Adversary bulletin alerts not notice summaries not so advisable. Other reference materials address the Distribution Integrity Management Program, the following ruling of the preamble of the Federal Register sought on Volume 74, Number 232, Federal, December 4th, 2009. Rules and Regulations, Comment Topic 16, the Integrated Management Program Evaluation Implementation, page 63917. Distribution Integrity Management, frequently asked questions. C4F1, what often does the operator need to evaluate the program? C4F2, what constitutes the periodic evaluation? The Gas Pipeline Technology Committee as guided material Appendix G 192D Section 8 Periodic Evaluation Improvement. Guidance information 1. The operator must have a written distribution integrity management program that contains the procedures developing and implementing each of the requirements of Statute 192-107F. For the procedure to have adequate detail, clearly describe the manner in which each requirement will meet. The procedure will need to provide a description of who, what, when, where, and how the operator will implement the elements. And the operator must follow the procedures of the Distribution Integrity Management Program. Individual procedures documented should include the management approvals, origin date, the effective date of the last revision. For additional information, see the guidance of 192-105F. An operator must complete the evaluation distribution integrity of the management periodically to monitor the effectiveness of assessing the distribution integrity, addressing identified threats. Program evaluation performed with the essential elements of the process identified and implemented with the effects. In addition, with the threats and their priorities may change over the time to condition the change, mitigation, protection of the completed with 3. The period evaluation program effective must be frequently needed to be assessed. The distribution integrity cannot be exceed 5 years, and a rule requirement. The evaluation period must be determined by the operator, included with a written integrity management program. The time frame for evaluation and individual internal performance measures may be different. The periodic review of the written integrity management program will include the evaluation appropriateness of the operator's established intervals. The evaluation of the program effectiveness should include the following items and determine if the modification of the program needs to be made. A. Risk prioritization results. B. Risk control practices. C. Failure analysis results. D. Performance measures. 5. The method of program evaluation could range from the formal audit of the program, simple review of the above items, the subject matter expertise based on needs and complexity of the program. 6. Of the corrective actions to be taken by the operator to improve the integrity management program must be documented, monitored, and effectiveness of the period evaluation must specifically relate to threat assessment and risk evaluation measures to reduce the risk, measurement of performance measures in the reviews, and examine effectiveness of the measure, reduce the risk, specific performance measures, the recommendation for the improvement of where necessary. 8. Result of the periodic review must include the appropriate specifically, individual identify the program improvements, general restraints, and implementation improvements are not applicable. Alright, example of the probable violation. The operator does not have the procedure to cover the task required. The operator has failed the written procedures. Adequate procedures were not available in conducting the integrated management program. Effectiveness evaluation of the program did not identify the frequency of the periodic evaluation. 5. The operator did not conduct a program reevaluation that lasts 5 years. 6. The procedures did not adequately include the review and audit of the integrated management program. And 7. Operator of the distribution integrity management program evaluation process does not specifically address the means and the operator implemented track of the distribution integrity management performance program performance, and the procedure does not have specific frequencies and time frames at which the operator must track the distribution integrity management program performance. An operator of the Distribution Integrity Management Program evaluation procedures do not assess whether the distribution integrity management are effective in reducing the risk. The operator of the Distribution Integrity Management Program evaluation process does not provide the operator with the information implementing the improvements and its distribution integrity management program effectiveness based on findings of the evaluation. 10. The operator's evaluation process is not based on sound, repeatable principles or not sufficiently documented so the inspector can make the reasonable determination as to the accuracy thorough of the process. Alright, improvement. An operator did not change its distribution integrity management program as required to address information obtained through the annual reviews programmable evaluation whether any change occurs but the material altered with the elements of the distribution integrity management program. 2. An operator did not actually make the change in the distribution integrity management program. Do not implement and change the distribution integrity management program when and where the program evaluation identified the changes were required. 3. An operator did not thoroughly document the change, including the purpose, the content, and the date completed. 4. The process operator described the procedure not sufficient documented so the inspector can make a reasonable determination as to the accuracy, thoroughness of the process. 5. The procedure does not contain sufficient detail clarity to allow anyone using them to perform the task. Implementation of the distribution integrity management program, it was adequately performed, or the results were not adequately documented. Adequate actions were not identified to improve the distribution integrity management program. Based on the review of the evaluation, actions identified with the distribution integrity management program evaluation were not adequately implemented. Response to the performance measures and indicating poor performance was inadequate. Alright, examples of evidence, the copies of the applicable distribution integrity management program pages supporting any of the violations discussed above, either separately or combination. A copy of the operator's procedure showing it does not meet the specified requirements. 3. The documentation demonstration from the operator did not perform the distribution integrity management program evaluation. Documented demonstration the operator did not react to the result of the distribution integrated management program evaluation. 5. The documented photographic evidence demonstrating the violation, documented oral and written statements for the operator and personnel, other specific notations not so far advisable. Alright, Distribution Integrity Management Program 192, December 21st, 2012, 192.107G. What are the required elements of the Integrity Management Program? Existing code. Written Integrity Management Program contains the procedures developing and implementing the following elements. Report results. G. Report results. Reporting on an annual basis for the 4 measure listed paragraphs E1, E11, and E1 through E15. This section is part of the annual report required for the statute 191.11. The operator must report with the measure of the State Pipeline Safety Authority is to state exercise jurisdiction over the operator of the pipeline. Origin of Code 192.113.74.63.96, December 4th, 2009. Last amended 192.116.70, Federal Register 7654.94, February 1st, 2011. Interpretation summaries not so far visible on advisory bulletin. No summaries not so far visible. Alright, other reference and material sources. Addressing the Distribution Integrity Management Program, Final Ruling, Preamble, the Federal Register, Volume 74, Number 232, Friday, December 4, 2009, Rules and Regulations. At the comment topic, 26 Annual Report Form, page 63923, Distribution Integrity Management, frequently asked questions. 64G1, when operated with the start collecting, maintaining the records data needed for the performance measures. C4G2, when the performance measures due the annual report. C4G3, that can appear in pipeline hazardous material safety administration. Further define the number of the evacuation tickets on the new form. C4G4, for the municipal operators, joint utility operators, should number the evacuation tickets include the evacuation ticket, just those sent to the DS department. C4G5, the multiple tickets of the single line counted with the single excavation ticket. C4G6, with the excavation damage that occurs, the excavation node of the ticket. C4G7, we have lots of steel risers which can be tightened to eliminate the leaks. We have not reported these on Form 7100 Part C, total leaks and hazard leak eliminated, repaired, and during the year in the past. Notice that's in caps. Are there leaks considered reportable leaks per distribution integrity management, and should the threats be considered in a distribution management program plan? Alright, other materials and sources. Gas Pipeline Technology Committee, Guide Appendix G 192.8, Section 8, Report Results. The operator must have a written distribution integrity management plan that occurs through the procedure developing and implementing either the requirement for the statute 192.107G. The procedure must have adequate detail to clearly describe the manner in which the requirement will be met. The procedure will need to be provided with a description of who, what, when, where, and how. The operator will implement the elements. The operator must follow the procedure, the distribution management program, and individual procedures documented, which include and a management approval of the origin date of the effective date of the last revision for the additional information. See the guidance of section 192.105. The operator must measure and report the following measures on an annual basis. 1. The number of hazard leaks either eliminated, repaired, or required. 192.703C of the subchapter. Full number of the leaks if the leaks are repaired when found, categorized by cause. 2, number of the excavation damages. 3, number of excavation tickets and receipts and information by the underground facility operated with a notification center. 4, the total numbers of leaks eliminated, repaired, and categorized and caused. Alright, 3, evidence appropriate regulatory authority has been notified in accordance with the various requirements of the rule must be obtained by the operative data notification method of notification should be apparent. The use of electronic notification is preferred, therefore such electronic are acceptable. Examples of probable violation: the operator does not have the procedure that covers the task being performed. The operator fails to follow the written procedure. The operator did not submit the support required performance measures. 4, the operative procedure did not include all measures specified by the rule. Operator failed to submit the required report on the annual basis pursuant to statute 119-111. Alright, example of evidence: copy the operator's procedure showing that it does not meet the specified requirements, documented the photographic evidence demonstrating the violation described, and documented oral written statements for the operator, personnel record demonstration that it is required reporting when not performed in a timely manner. Other types of special notifications not so revised. Distribution Integrity Management, Part 192, December 21st, 2012. Statute 192-109 and 191-112. 190 Section Title 102-109. What must an operator report when a mechanical fitting fails? 191 Distribution System Mechanical Fitting Failure Reports. Alright, existing code 192-109. What must an operator report for the mechanical fitting fails? A, existing as provided with the paragraph B in this section, each operator distribution pipeline system must be submitted to report on each of the mechanical fitting failures, excluding any failure that results only on a non-hazardous leak. The Department of the Transportation form, the PHMSA F7100.102, 1 and 2. The reports must be submitted in accordance with statute 191-112. 191-12. The mechanical fitting failures reporting requirements of paragraph A of this section does not apply with the following: master meter operators, special small liquid petroleum gas operators as defined in statute 192-101, and liquid nitrogen gas facilities. 192 or 191-12 distribution system mechanical failure fitting reports. Each of the mechanical fitting failure is required in statute 192-109. 1009 must be submitted on the mechanical failure fitting of the PHMSA F7100 1 and 2. Operator must submit a mechanical fitting failure report for each of the mechanical fitting of the failure that occurs with the calendar year not later than March 15th of the following of the year. For the example, the mechanical failure report of the calendar 2011 must be submitted no later than March 15, 2012. The alternative operator may elect to submit and report thoroughly through the year. In addition, the operator must also report the information from the state pipeline, state safety authority, and state obtained with the regular authority over the operator's pipeline. Origin of Code 192-116, 76 FR 5494, February 1st, 2011. Also, that is the same, the origin of code and is the same as the last amended. Interpretation summary is not for sorry visible. Advisory bulletin alert notice of an alert. Out of the advisory bulletin of 1207 issued June 11, 2012. The Pipeline Hazard Safety Administration is issuing advisory bulletin to provide classification to the owners, operators, of the gas distribution pipelines facilities when complying with the mechanical fitting failure form, the PHMS F7100-102. Other material and sources address the Distribution Integrity Management Program following preamble, Federal Registration, Volume 74, Number 232, Friday, December 4th, 2009. Rules and regulation comment topic in plastic pipe of the reporting, page 63907. Addressing the MFFR Final Ruling Preamble to Federal Register, Volume 76, Number 21, Tuesday, February 1st, 2011. Rules and Regulations, pages 5494 to 500. Distribution Integrity Management Frequently Asked Questions. C51. When PHSMA collecting data about the mechanical fitting failures. CF2, does the state already collect the type of the information that is to be collected by the mechanical fitting failures? C53, should they both steel and plastic mechanical fitting failures be reported? However, the different styles of plastic mechanical fittings do mechanical fitting failures and cast iron systems need to be reported. C54, since there is a new form of mechanical fitting failures which result in hazardous leaks, does the failure still need to be reported in Part C of the annual report? If the above ground fitting failures are the hazards to be repaired, they need to be reported for C56 when the exemptions of the expectations of the operator determine the cause of the mechanical fitting failure which result in a hazardous leak. Guidance information. Operators must be submitted mechanical fitting failure report to the PHMSF 7100 1 and 2 for each of the mechanical fitting failure which result in a hazardous leak. Mechanical fitting failures which result in a hazardous leak may be submitted throughout the year at a one time prior to the March 15th of the previous calendar year. An operator procedure should describe the reference to the methodology process used to collect the mechanical coupling and failure to data and submission. Statute 192-109 requires amendments do not apply to the master meters and small liquid petroleum gas operators as defined in Statute 192-101. Example of probable violation operated in the distribution management program does not address submitting information mechanical fitting failures which result in hazardous leak to the appropriate apprehended causing analyst that was adequately integrated with the integrated management program. The appropriate actions were not specified to prevent reoccurrence of the program. Reoccurrence of the problem that could lead to the integrity concern. Operator did not report hazardous mechanical fitting failures as a result, or as appropriate. Examples of evidence. Copies of an operator procedure show that it does not meet the specified requirements. 2. The documented photographic evidence demonstrating the violation. 3. Documented oral written statement for the operating personnel. 4. The records identification mechanical fitting failures resulting in hazardous leaks that were not included with the report or reporting performed on the operator. Other specific notifications. Alright, enforcement guidelines, distribution integrity management, part 192, revision date December 21st, 2012, code section 192-111, section title, what are the records of the operator or keeper? The existing code, an operator must maintain records demonstrating compliance with the requirements of the subpart for at least 10 years. The record must include copies of the superseded integrity management programs developing under the subpart. The origin of code is 192.113.74.63906, December 4th, 2009. Last amended in interpretation and advisory bulletin alert notice are not foreseen. Other material and other reference materials and sources address the distribution integrated management program following preamble to the Federal Register, volume 74, 232. Friday, December 4th, 2009. Rules of Regulation, comment topic 11, required documentation, page 63915. Proposed documentation requirements. We see an unforeseen, reasonable, burdensome, in particular with the proposed requirements to document all decisions and changes related to the distribution integrity management program and integrated management program. To keep all related records from the life of the pipeline where seen unreasonable. Pipeline has material safety administration removed from the list of documented specified simplified language regulation requirement operators to maintain the documentation demonstrated compliance. Distribution integrity management, frequently asked questions C61. When records are does not operated, need to maintain and demonstrate the compliance of subpart B. C62. When retains all the records considered developing the distribution and integrity management program under 192.111. C63. As required to submit the distribution and integrity management plan to the federal, state, and regulator. Guidance information. Operators are required to maintain the records demonstrated with compliance of the distribution integrity management program. Rule for a minimum of 10 years, including the superseding copies of the distribution and management program. Operator proceeds but is required retention for the records of a minimum of 10 years. 2. The record demonstrates compliance must be available for the review during the inspection. The records must include the basis determination results for the important results for performance measures. The operator must be able to demonstrate the data of the collected results for the review and to evaluate the effectiveness of the performance measures to support any actions taken and not taken. 3. Numerous records are generated with the result of the distribution integrity management program to the extent that these records demonstrate the compliance of the rule requirements. They must be maintained by the operator such that the readable, retrievable, protected from the damage, and secured sufficient to prevent unauthorized use. 4. The rules did not specifically record the most. They must be maintained. For example, the records demonstrating compliance may include a written integrity management program. B. The knowledge of the system documentation. C. The player identification risk assessment documentation. Measure the address risk documentation. Performance measures used to evaluate the effectiveness of the risk management documentation. Records of documentation period. Performance periodic evaluation, distribution, integrity management program documentation, notification. Pipeline has server safety administration, state and local regulatory agencies. For the record, records such as worksheets and memorandums and notes and the documented with the should be retrievable with a certain location extent practicable outposts with the being retained exclusively by the individuals without record and store responsibility, since more records must be retained for the life of the pipeline. The suggested record is to captain some sort of formalized statutory road keeping system as opposed to the individual working with these procedures should include the documented location of the operator facility, and A, as an alternative to each of the procedures specifying record keeping requirements of the single procedure that specifies all record keeping requirements are considered sufficiently pragmatic control. B, records retained should be in good condition, legibility, and readable, retrievable, and properly secured and properly completed. C, any procedures and guidance for the threat identification risk assessment must be retained as well as results of the process. C, periodic update of the risk assessment documentation would use the expected in the program files, including support records and such meeting minutes and subject matters expert reviews where the conclusions are drawn. The rule does not require the documented with the support of the decision analysis process developed needed to implement evaluate each of the element. Integrity management program must be maintained, but they are useful. The set of documented include those development used in support of identification, calculation, amendment, notification, justification, deviation, determination made, and adding action, implementing, and evaluating the program elements. 6. Any operator must maintain a required record superseded with the copies of the 10 earlier revision of the program should include the documented files. The archived information evidence must be included with the effective date of any of the all revisions. Example of the probable violation and process procedures do not require that all required records may be retained with the 5-year minimum requirement. The operator do not have the procedure specifying the copies superseded with the integrity management plans will be maintained for at least 10 years. The operator did not keep the required records of the documentation that's specified at the time and period. For the operator did not make superseded integrity management plans for the specified time period. The operator does not have the record for the documentation to support the compliance with the requirements of Statute 192.01. The operator has record or other documentation supported above the requirements required for the documentation insufficient to prove the compliance. Examples of evidence or copy applicable pages of the operator distribution and integrity management program shown for the procedure documented is inadequate, absence insufficient, the record of demonstrating that the operator cannot produce the documentation demonstration compliance. 3. The absence of superseded distribution and integrated management programs. Documented photographic evidence demonstrating violation. Documented oral written statement for the operator, personnel, other specific special notice, and Alright, Distribution Integrity Management Part 192, December 21st, 2012, within the Code Section 192.113, Section Title, when may an operator deviate from required periodic inspections under this part. The existing code, an operator may reduce the frequency periodic inspection test required in the part of the basis engineering analysis risk assessment required by the subpart. B. An operator submitted with the proposal of the pipeline hazard safety administration, associated administrator for the pipeline safety, in the case of the interstate pipeline facility regulated with the state and appropriate state agency. The applicable oversight of the agency may act as a proper proposal with their own authority, with or without the conditional limitations on showing the operator's proposal will include the adjusted interval will provide with the equal and greater overall level of safety. An operator implementing proved the reduction frequency of the periodic inspection tests only with the operator developed and implemented in the integrity management program that provides equal and improved overall level of safety despite the reduced frequency of the periodic inspection. Original code 192.113.74.63906, December 4th, 2009. Last amendment not foreseeable and not done. The interpretation summaries, notice advisory bulletin or notice summaries blank. Other reference materials addressing the distribution integrity management final rule and preamble federal register volume 74 number 232 Friday December 4th 2009 rules and regulations comment topic 6 alternative intervals page 36910. Distribution integrity management frequently asked questions. C71 how can an operator use the distribution management program to justify reductions of periodic test inspection requirements? C that 72 when the pipeline has safety requires a proposal for alternate inspection intervals. Guidance information. Part 1 and 2 requires the distribution operators to perform a number of inspection specified intervals that include but are not limited to Part 192.465 CP testing rectifier inspection, 192.465E evaluated pipelines with no CP, 192.481 atmospheric corrosion control monitoring, 192.723 leak surveys. Part 192.739, pressure limiting device testing, 192.747, emergency valve testing, 192.749, valve inspection, and 192.721, main patrolling. Through the fundamental premise of the risk management reallocation of the resource for the activities, the less of the effect of the risk activities that can have greater impact the intervals specified with required inspection, and 192 not risk impact based. They were based on the judgment and experiences operated with risk assessment may show some of the inspection have little effect on the reducing the risk, while resources conducted in the inspection could be used for the other activities that could significantly impact on the reducing of the risk. The regulation allows the type of the resource reallocation of occur. 2, 3. The change in intervals required for the under the provision are not waived specified. Initial permits 192.113 allows rules to change the intervals of the approval of the administrative pipeline hazard safety administration appropriate the state regulatory agency for Pipeline Hazard Safety Administration states may issue additional requirements as part of approving an application of alternative intervals. If done, additional requirements become binding and the operator may be cited, but the failure to comply with them. Failure to comply could also result in regulation authority residing in approval of alternative intervals. Examples of probable violation. Operators impended with the alternative internal intervals for one or more of the Part 192 inter requirements without obtaining the approval of regulating authority. 2. The operator is conducting required inspection at an interval that differs from alternative internal approved regulating authority. Examples of probable violation. 3. Operator is not complying with additional requirements imposed by the regulating authority as part of the approval and alternative intervals. 4. The regulating authority has resigned approval for the alternative intervals and for the operator has not modified in procedural practices to return the intervals specified in Part 192. Alright, examples of evidence. Copy of the letter or regulating authority approving alternative intervals. Lack thereof. Copy of the procedure specifying different alternative intervals through the approved and regulating authority. 3. Records indicating the inspection conducting with the intervals greater than the alternative approved regulating authority. 4. Absence and or insufficient records demonstrating the operator cannot produce documentation that demonstrates the compliance. 5. The documented photographic evidence demonstrating the violation, documented oral and written statements by the operating personnel, other specifications not so far noted. Distribution Integrity Management Part 1 and 2 Enforcement Guidance Revision Date December 21st, 2012 Code Section 192.115A Section Title What must a master or small liquid petroleum gas operator do to implement the subpart? Existing code. Generally, no later than August 2nd, 2011, the operator in the master system and the small liquid petroleum gas operator must develop and implement with an integrated management program that includes the written integrated management program specified in paragraph B of the section. Integrated management program for the pipeline should reflect the relatively simplicity of these type of pipelines. Origin of Code 192.113.74.63906, December 4th, 2009. Last amendments and interpretations. Summaries, adverse bills, bulletins, and alerts are blank. Other resource materials addressing the distribution and integrated management program final ruling period and with the Federal Register 74 number 232 Friday December 4th 2009 and rules and regulations comment topic 7 integrated management records measurement meters liquid petroleum gas operators in page 639112 63912 comment topic 11 required documentation 63915 distribution integrity management program federal frequently asks questions. B41, what is a shrimp simple hand risk based integrated management plan? B42, is the threshold size of the operated distribution system above which is the shrimp or tool should not be used? Simple handy risk based integrity management program. B43, will my plan compliance with the shrimp simple handy risk management improvement integrity management program? C42, can a distribution integrity management plan incorporate the reference operators procedure for their own other manuals and plans? C71, can an operator use the distribution management program to justify reductions other than the periodic test inspection requirements? C72, what will the pipeline hazard and safety states require for the proposal alternative inspection intervals? C81, all liquid petroleum gas operators and natural gas operators regarded the side of the distribution system are subject to the distribution integration management program regulations. What do the master meters and small liquid petroleum gas operators need to have implemented on August 2011? Gas Pipeline Technology Committee, or GPTC, Guide Material Appendix GP 192, Section 1, Introduction 1.1 through 3, Section 2, Elements of Distribution Integrity Management Program 2.1 and 2.2, Section 10, Distribution Integrity Management Pro 10.1 and 10.2. Guidance information. Master meter small liquid petroleum operators treated with differently in distribution integrity program. Rule that large operators form a statute 192-1001 integrity management and integrated management program. Plans a written explanation for the mechanism procedure operators will use to implement integrity management program and to ensure the compliance with the support for the master meter and the small liquid petroleum gas operators. Integrity management program must include the appropriate set of the mechanism procedures developed and implemented in each program element. The applicability of the word mechanism for the operator is important as the synonym of mechanisms is process. The operator may employ a written explanation of the process employed with the mechanism to develop and implemented with the required element of the last specific with a written procedure. The integrated management program for the pipeline should reflect the relatively specifically the types of the type of these pipelines should reflect relatively the simplicity of the types of pipeline. Distribution integrity management can concise, but still must sufficient for the operator personnel to understand and implement the program on a consistent basis. Here, the written distribution integrated program must include the date the distribution integrity management program was written with the implemented effective date of the revision history. The operator may use a written explanation of the process employed to develop and implement with the required element. The less specific of the written procedure, many operators with commercial availability of the products developed in the distribution integrity management program. APAG, e.g. APIG, SFI, simple handy rules and integrity management plan, shrimp. Most of the distribution integrity management programs developed using the commercial products and require customization to reflect the operator's unique circumstances and procedures. Guidance specific to the operator who transferred the pipeline to another operator, but retains responsibility for the contract maintenance and distribution integrity management activities. Which operator is accountable for the implementing of the distribution integrity management programs? The state inspector operator compliant with the pipeline safety regulations. An operator is defined in Title 49 CFR 192-3. The person who engages in the transportation of the gas. The person is further defined as an individual, firm, joint venture, partnership, corporation, association, state, municipality, cooperative association, joint association, including trustee, receiver, assigning personal responsibility thereof. If an operator retains responsibility for operation maintenance activities, including integrity management, and the operator does not must comply with the distribution integrity management program. All right, example of the probable violation. Operator does not have the distribution integrity management program written and implemented in August 2011. The operator does not address the liquid petroleum gas or other type of gas transported with the applicable. 3. The ambiguity and confusion as the type of the pipeline system as in distribution integrated management program address. Distribution integrity management program does not contain the necessary mechanisms and procedures to demonstrate that the distribution integrity management written is implemented. 5. The distribution integrity management does not include all pipelines and imprudencies. Probable violation. 6. A new system was put in operation service without written distribution integrity management program. 7. An operator who acquired existing system did not continue with operations under the existing distribution integrity management program did not incorporate the acquired assets of the distribution integrity management within 1 year. Examples of evidence. Copies of applicable pages of the DIP showing the operator has not clearly stated the distribution integrity management program written with the implemented August 2nd, 2011. Copies of applicable pages of the distribution integrity management program showing that the operator has not clearly stated the type of the gas that's transported. 3 copies of applicable pages of the distribution integrity management program showing the operator has not clearly stated but the system and distribution integrity management covers. Documented photographic evidence demonstrating the violation. Documented oral written statements for the operator personnel. Other special notifications not noted. Alright, enforcement guidance, distribution integrity management, part 192, December 21st, 2012, 192.115b1. Section title 192.115, section title, what must a master meter or a small liquid petroleum gas operator to implement the subpart? Existing code of written integrity management program must address and at minimum the following elements. And 1, the knowledge the operator must demonstrate the knowledge of his pipeline, which, and to the extent known, should include the approximate location material of the pipeline. The operator must identify the additional information needed to provide with the plan for gaining knowledge over the time of the normal activities conducted on the pipeline. For example, design, construction, operation, maintenance activities. The origination code is 192.113.74 at Federal Registry 63906, December 4th, 2009. Last Amendment interpretation summaries, advisory bulletin, alert, and summaries. Other materials and sources addressed in the distribution of integrity management final ruling preamble of the Federal Register 74, number 232, Friday, December 4th, 2009. Rules and regulations. Comment topic 20. Knowledge of the pipeline enforcement factors in page 63919. Distribution integrity management frequently asked questions. C4A1. The rule requires the operator to know the system, but the evacuator must an operator excavate simply to gather information on parts of the system where it may not have been complete knowledge. 64A2. There are some characteristics of an operator system that may be not during the developing of an integrated management plan. What are the pipeline hazards, material safety administration's expectations for filling those voids? C4A3. What are the qualified subject matter expert? C4A4. What data required to be collected for the new gas line pipelines going in the ground? 64A5. What compromises reasonable, reliable information? C4A6. Most operating plans include the source of demonstrating and understanding the gas distribution system. The Gas Pipeline Technology Committee Guide in the Material Appendix to G192, Section 3, knowledge. The master meter small liquid petroleum gas operators are treated differently in the distribution integrity management program rule of the large operators. The Form 192-1001 integrity management program integrated management means a written explanation mechanical procedures operated with the use of an implement the integrity management program to ensure the compliance with the subpart of the matter for the master and meters. The small liquid petroleum gasoline integrity management program must be included with the appropriate set mechanism, procedure development, and implementation. Each of the program element that is applicable for the word mechanism for the operator is important, but the synonym of mechanism is process the operator may employ and written explanation of the process employed. Mechanisms develop, implement required elements of the less specific from the written procedures for the integrated management program for the pipeline for the reflect the relatively specific the types of pipeline. The distribution integrity management could be concise, but still must be sufficient for the operator's personnel to understand and implementing the program for the consistent basis. 2. The operator may use a written explanation process employed with developing and implementing required element that is less specific for the written procedure. 3. An operator must have knowledge in the gas distribution system, including but not limited to the following: location, material composition, pipe size, joint method, construction method, date, and installation, soil condition. When appropriate, the operating design and measure, history, operating experience, performance, data contation system, any other characteristic denoted for the operating. Important understanding its system for the information may be obtained in source, including system maps of the construction record, work management system, geographical information system, corrosion records, personnel who have knowledge for the system, subject matter experts. The operator may have documented with the mechanism procedural address with the other information demonstrated with the knowledge of the pipeline, which to the extent now it should include the approximate location and material of its pipeline. 5. The operator must identify the additional information needed to provide with the plan to gain the knowledge over the time through the normal activities conducted on pipeline. For example, design, construction, operation, maintenance activities. Distribution Integrity Management Program must list the names of the operator specific information sources not generic for the operational management program. Some of the history data that may not be longer applicable for the current condition for the pipeline. It may be replaced with the data provided whose pipe will no longer be relevant. Such data must be relevant where the circumstances of construction practice, coating, backfill materials, pipe materials, environmental conditions of the pipe prior to the replacement existing elsewhere relevant to the existing risk of the operating system. For example, if the bare steel has been replaced, but some of the bare steels exist, sometimes the data concerned with the replaced pipe may be still relevant. Operators transport the gas of the natural gas needed of the state in the distribution integrity management program. Class of the gas impact, threats, and risks, and include the difference in natural gas. For the data identified with the operator needed with the threat identification risk evaluation, the process to identify the facilities with the records are missing accurately and incomplete. Verify the operator check with the data occurrence with the completeness. Technical, collect additional data, and improving the existing data is required to be occurred with normal pipeline activities over the time. They must be in the method of the people performing normal pipeline activities and over the additional data is needed. Examples of probable violation: the operator does not have a mechanism provided procedure for the task being performed. 2. The operator fails to follow the written mechanisms or procedures. 3. The operator demonstrates that they have local and available sources to find information with the past design, operation, maintenance, such as coding and material. 4. Operator does not specifically list with the documented with the use the assembled knowledge in the system. 5. The operator does not use reasonable data of the entire pipeline, but could provide all relevant in performing threat assessment, risk evaluation as needed with the group of facilities. There is no mechanism procedure to identify need with the missing, inaccurate, incomplete data. 7. The operator has no identified missing, inaccurate, incomplete data. Has not identified missing, inaccurate, incomplete data. Operator did not collect data and specified mechanism procedures. Number 8. Examples of evidence: copies of the applicable pages of the distribution integration public plan should be follows. The operator has not clearly stated the documented use of developing knowledge of the system. The list of documented use of developed knowledge of the system is inadequate in defining design, operating, environmental characteristics of the pipeline system. 2. The copies of the applicable pages of distribution integrity management showing the distribution integrity management plan is not detailed even for an inspector to make reasonable determination as to the accuracy and thoroughness of the process. Copies of the applicable pages of the operator integration management program showing the records, regulation, provision documented with the records and other documentation insufficient to prove the compliance with integrated regulation of provisions. 4. Copies of the applicable pages of the operator distribution integrity management plan showing the required data collection or utilization of data is not distribution integrity management. 5. The documented photographs, evidence, demonstration of the violation. 6. Documented oral written statements for operator personnel. Other specifications not noted. And I'll get back with you tomorrow on this.